Hello YouTube, it's Brad again from MasonicGamer.com. Today I'm just going to talk a little bit about Activision and Call of Duty. Now, AlphaOmegaSin put a little rant video up about Activision's story, article about Call of Duty 2, fucking Call of Duty 2, there's that many of the fuckers. Call of Duty Ghosts is not doing that well. It's falling way below expectations, in fact, about halfway. And they're blaming it basically on people holding out for next generation, so people aren't buying it, etc, etc, etc. And he's right, it's a load of bollocks. People are just fucking fed up of playing the same game over and over again. Now, it's not just Activision and it's not just Call of Duty, it's games in general. I can really see a decline in these games. Battlefield, Call of Duty, FIFA, Madden, you name them, it's all the same game, just fucking brought out every year, new skins. And he made a good point in his video. They've even got cutscenes in the game that are exactly the same action-wise as a previous game, just reskinned. Exactly the same. So it's just got a new voiceover and been reskinned. But it's exactly the same cutscene, it's just sloppiness. But for Activision to say that it's not performing as well as expected, in fact it's only doing half as well, and blaming that on the next generation and people buying the consoles, money being tight, holding out to buy the game when they get the new console, etc, etc. They're just fucking cuckoo. They are absolutely cuckoo. One of the main reasons it's not doing well, and this is my opinion by the way, and you're welcome to disagree on this, is, and this is something that AlphaOmegaSin did not touch on, is this. Digital download. I can't say it, there we go. $94.99. That's English pounds. So what's that? Probably about $160. Yes, that is the ordered edition, but obviously it's a digital download, not getting all the shit that you would get from the store in the ordered edition. And the DLC packs, obviously you're paying for the DLC packs. So now you're going to a shop, you're buying a game for £60. You know, as soon as you take that game home, you need to spend another £40 to £60 on DLC. It's a fucking joke. It really is a joke. Now, I'm not going to go into a DLC debate because I've done that before, but for a company, I mean, Activision, to be fair, the maps are new. They're not, from what I can gather, they're not held back. They work on new maps. There are some companies that hold shit back for day one launch and you've got to pay for it, which is a fucking joke to cut stuff out of the game and make you pay for it again. But this is not the case here, and we're not going into that on this video. But for them to think and to blame people holding off is totally wrong. Absolutely totally wrong. They live in fucking cuckoo land if they think that's the reason. And more gamers are getting onto the fact now that these companies are bending you over and fucking you up the arse. They are, they really are. They just want to screw you for every single fucking penny they can. If it's not DLC for fucking maps, it's fucking microtransactions or paid for cheats, let's say, to get fucking cars or whatever in the games. Near enough all the Xbox One games at the moment that I've played include microtransactions. So you've got fucking Battlefield, you've got DLC of course, you've got Forza, which is fucking pushing microtransactions. As soon as you put that disc in, it wants you to fucking buy stuff straight away. It wants you to buy credit boosts, it wants you XP boosts, it wants you to buy fucking cars, it wants you to buy tracks, it wants you to buy this, it wants you to buy that. You go to your message system, you get your message recommendation. You do well in this car, you do well in this track. Oh yeah, it's going to cost me fucking 20 quid. Cheers. Cheers turn 10. Appreciate that. Hold it back. And that is a pure case of holding content back, because that was available from day one. That has been removed from the game. These cars have been removed from the game and held back to screw you over. And it's alright, people say, well, don't buy the DLC, stop buying it. People do fucking buy it, don't they? People are stupid. At the moment, you've got the next gen console, you've got 6 or 7 games you can play. Obviously it takes a while for games to start coming out. So the only way you're going to do it at the moment is to buy DLC and update the games just to make it feel fresh constantly. But for Activision to come out and say that it's not doing very well, it's only selling half of expected, and it's because people are buying next gen consoles. They live in fucking cuckoo land. You should check out AlphaOmegaSin's video. I'll leave a comment down below. I'll leave it in the description down below. A link to his channel. You should be watching him anyway. He's a great guy, really funny. But yeah, he definitely missed out on the price of the games. And it's not just that. I mean, you can go and buy Call of Duty Ghosts. You can get it online for about £40. Well, it's probably about $60 in the US, but in the UK it's £40 on a number of websites for Xbox One and for PlayStation 4. On the console itself, if you want to buy a digital download of just the normal edition without any of the other shit you get in it, it's going to cost you, for a digital download, $54.99. So, is that another reason? I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I've played the game and it's, the single player is, what, 4 hours long? And that's another thing that really pisses me off with the DLC packs as well, is they never think about the single player campaign. I mean, I do play multiplayer, but I have buddies that don't like to play online. They haven't got time, they've got families, they just like to sit down a few hours each night and play the single player games, which is fair enough. Each have their own enjoyment from games and get their own enjoyment from games, and that's what they like doing. But for them to go and pay exactly the same price, £60 or whatever it is, $54.99, to play a 3-4 hour single player campaign, and that's it, the game's done for them. And they'll never think, Activision or Triage will never think, oh, let's update the single player. That doesn't happen. It really doesn't happen. So, yeah, that's it. That's my little response to AlphaOmegaSin. Go and check him out. Like I say, it's in the description below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on not just Call of Duty, but the way that DLC expansion packs are handled. What do you think of them? Do you like them? You don't mind them? You don't mind paying through the fucking nose for them, getting raped off video game companies? And I understand that a game does, cost. It usually costs more money than a Hollywood movie now. It really does. You're talking hundreds of millions, 100 million in some cases, and they say it takes years to make, but we know these take about 2 years because obviously they switch developers each year, so 2 years to make. But does it really take 2 years? Because it's just fucking reskinned. It doesn't matter. It's just the last game reskinned, so it's not really 2 years, is it? But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Do you like DLC? Do you like Call of Duty Ghosts? Do you think it's fucking the best game since sliced bread? What you're saying, you don't understand games. Let me know, I don't care. Let me know down below. Let me know what you think. And yeah, check him out. I'll be doing some more of these little video responses to, there's a number of tubers up here now that I follow that I want to do responses to. And keep gaming. See you later.